is that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Barabird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, et par Bruce Power, and by Bruce Power.
Good morning and welcome to U Sports on CBC and the 2024 Bruce Power U Sports Men's Soccer Championship from the Vassals Field in Oshawa, Ontario. My name is Derek Linneman. Along with me is Jacob Bagley as we get set for the Consolation Semifinal number 1 today between the 7th seed Mount Royal Cougars and the number 3 St. FX X-Men. Well, Jacob, day number 2 here. This isn't the right side of the bracket you want to be on for day 2, but a lot of pride still on the line for both of these teams.
Yeah, of course at national championships you want to do as well as you can, and it's unfortunate for all these teams in the Consolation semis to lose yesterday, but there's still a lot to play for. Being able to win the Consolation side and getting named 5th in the country is still an incredible achievement, and these teams are definitely going to be wanting to win this game today as natural athletes as they are.
Yeah, both teams natural athletes fell in yesterday's quarterfinal matchups by 1 goal difference. The St. FX X-Men falling to the York Lions by a score of 2-1, and then we had the Mount Royal Cougars going down to the Montreal Carabin, who have been ranked in the top across the country throughout the year by a score of 1-0. 2 really good teams, and really going to see a real high-powered offense, really high-powered game for today.
Yeah, I expect 2 very good teams, and they're going to have very strong lineups because they obviously want to win these games in nationals, even if it is on the Consolation side. And I saw 2 great performances yesterday from these 2 teams. It was very close matchups with York and Montreal ending up coming out on top, unfortunately, for these 2. But, again, like we said, there's pride on the line, and I'm sure both these teams are going to come out flying today.
Taking a look at their regular seasons, St. FX with an 8-1-3 regular season. The Cougars with that 7-2-5 record. St. FX a little bit more offensive, scoring 13 more goals than the Cougars, 37-24. But when you look at the shooting percentage, pretty equal, both over 500 as we get for today's game. Let's take a look at our players to watch for both of these teams as we take a look at the St. FX X-Men. They're wearing their white jerseys this afternoon, going with almost an identical lineup. And one of those key players is the forward, Samuel Barrowcliff. He had 1 shot on goal yesterday in his 67 minutes. In the regular season, he had 3 goals, 2 assists. A really important key for the St. FX X-Men is he likes to control the ball and be instrumental as the offense really goes through his foot. And then looking at the other side, for the Mount Royal Cougars, our player to watch is defender Ethan Keane. We seen him yesterday, very instrumental. He'll take all of those set pieces, the corner kicks. He'll take those free kicks. His left foot, a really important piece for the Cougars if they want to go further in the year. Well, Jacob, we're set here for the Consolation semifinal number 1. When we come back, the opening kick as the Mount Royal Cougars take on the St. FX X-Men at the 2024 Bruce Power U Sports Men's Soccer Championship live from Oshawa. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Nuclear power is lighting the path to the future. A future where clean, reliable electricity meets rising energy needs. A future with a prosperous economy founded on job growth. A future where new medical isotopes triumph over disease. For decades, Bruce Power has provided clean, reliable energy to Ontario and cancer-fighting isotopes across the globe, and will continue to play a vital role in powering a clean economy for the next generation.
Nicotine addiction sneaks up on you. Beware.
Make some noise for your Ontario Tech. Falling everywhere. What? Fear and no regrets. What? Knocking out the bands. Yeah. Blocking up the rails. I am a Ridgeback. If you're a Ridgeback, make some falling everywhere. What? Fear and no regrets. What? Knocking out the bands. Yeah. Blocking up the
all the goals.
That is a worldie!
All the drama.
That is absolute chaos!
It all leads to this.
Are you kidding me?
The Canadian Premier League Final, Saturday at 3 Eastern.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Nuclear power is lighting the path to the future. A future where clean, reliable electricity meets rising energy needs. A future with a prosperous economy founded on job growth. A future where new medical isotopes triumph over disease. For decades, Bruce Power has provided clean, reliable energy to Ontario and cancer-fighting isotopes across the globe, and will continue to play a vital role in powering a clean economy for the next generation.
Welcome back to Oshawa and U Sports on CBC. It's time to meet the starting lineups for today's Consolation Semifinal number 1. Let's start with the visiting team, the Mount Royal Cougars. Starting 11 for them this morning, Sue Rio, Ethan Keane, our player to watch, Caden Rogozinski, the captain of this squad, Alex Kemsley, Joshua Flaskman, Skylar Rogers, Gerard Strauss will be the keeper for the Cougars. Abel Nazibu, Widju Mutongolo, Miguel DeRoca, and Wazi Otang Fopong. And the starting 11 for the home side, the St. FX X-Men, Luke Green, Logan Rick, Isaac Van Wychen, Kyle Cordero, Cameron Shaw, Dylan Ville, Fergus Hall, Damien Detecker, Max Bourdurtha, Noah McIntyre, and the keeper, Samuel Diltz, as we're just seconds away from the opening kick. And it will be the St. FX X-Men wearing the white kits with the blue lettering and the blue shorts. They'll start with the ball defending the goal to our right, and the Cougars in their blue uniforms with the white numbering. And the big difference today, a little bit overcast and a lot of wind.
Yeah, you can definitely see a lot of players wearing Under Armour today. It's definitely a lot colder than yesterday, with a lot less sun as well, that's for sure. So I'm sure it's definitely going to change the way these players play.
Still a glorious day for soccer as we kick off day 2 at the U Sports National Championships. And St. FX not happy with the outcome yesterday, falling to the York Lions. York Lions, a really strong team, scoring early. St. FX trying to look for a little better start to this game than what they had in yesterday's loss.
Yeah, as the St. FX X-Men winning the AUS, they would have expected to potentially win that game yesterday, but coming up against a formidable opponent in the York Lions, it's always going to be a difficult match on either side.
St. FX controlling the ball early on. A big crowd on hand, as we saw when we talked previously. A handful of students here from the local elementary schools getting the opportunity to come and take in a sporting event. And we got to see the youth out there on the pitch with the starting 11 for both teams. Jacob, as a player, how do you embrace that community with the youth that are out there?
Well, first off, does it get any better than missing elementary school to come watch some soccer? That's the first thing. But as a player, in general, you just enjoy the experience of being at a national championship and in front of such a great crowd, and you want to put on a show as best as possible.
And exactly that. Let's hope for the best game in this conditions we have today. The lights are on at the field as it is an overcast day, and St. FX just really taking a control of the ball as they'll just move it around between the center backs in the backfield. Bourdurtha will bring it to the near side to DeDecker. St. FX trying to find a way. They were unable to build anything yesterday against the Lions, and they'll try and get something started as they go down the left side. Shaw getting fouled, but it's going to go against St. FX, giving the free kick to Mount Royal.
Good start from the X-Men so far, keeping a good amount of possession. The two big center backs for the X-Men, Luke Green and Max Bourdurtha, definitely going to have a lot of the ball early on in this game.
We saw that yesterday, how they were really under pressure by the Lions, and we'll see if they can solve the control of the game today, as we're going to see them play it right back to Decker, and Bourdurtha just trading passes, slowing things down, really taking a good look at how the formation is in front of them. As we see, it goes all the way back to the keeper, Diltz. Goaltending will be very important into this game. We got to see both of these yesterday in the morning quarterfinal matchups, and it was Gerard Strauss, the keeper for the Cougars, that really did instrumental to keep the Cougars in the game early on, making 3 big saves within the first 20 minutes of that game. As we have a free kick going to the Royals, as we take a look here, there's the foul as number 10. That is Cadero bringing down the Cougars player. causing giving the Cougars that free kick, and the X-Men picking up with the pressure of Ville. We saw him come in relief yesterday as one of the substitutions, as another foul will be called on the X-Men.
Yeah, Ville, a big player for the X-Men. I would have expected him to potentially start yesterday in their quarterfinal matchup. He scored a couple goals against Cape Breton in their semifinal of the AUS, so I think he's going to be someone to watch today for sure.
3 fouls already called against the X-Men. We saw 11 called in their game yesterday, and that was a big part of the York win. And out of those 11 fouls yesterday, St. FX picked up 5 yellow cards, 4 for players and 1 for the team. So we'll see if they can get their fouls under control in this morning's Consolation semifinal. Semifinal Consolation number 2 will be coming up later today, a 1:30 start set, as it will be the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks taking on the UNB Reds. The Ridgebacks falling yesterday in the last game of the quarterfinal Thursday. A tight 2-1 penalty kick victory for the McGill Redbirds, as Ville looking to center it, and it's cleared away, and it will get a throw in for St. FX.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaking loss yesterday for the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. You never want to lose in penalties, but it was a very close matchup between them and the Redbirds, and I think we'll have another good matchup in all the semifinals today.
And that's all that we want to ask for is good quality soccer, really tight games. We saw all of the games yesterday. Only one decided by more than 2 goals, as that was delivered into the box. Looking for the head of Cadero, and another foul is going to be called, or it's going to be an offside call this time against the X-Men.
Going back to the goalkeepers for a sec, I haven't seen too much of Strauss. I saw a little bit of him yesterday with a couple exceptional saves. Diltz on the other side played for Pro Stars this summer in Ontario League One. A very strong goalie, big guy in net, but I'm expecting good performances from both sides today.
Big long ball delivered, and Diltz is going to get his first touch with the hands as he picks that up, and he'll just roll it back in play. Green to Bodertha, as the X-Men really been controlling the pace of this game so far, as they'll play it back to the keeper. Out to the near side to Decker, waiting for it on the near side as they'll try to work it up the left side of the field. Shaw, he'll cross it to the open side, looking for Ville. In between a couple players, it goes out at the midfield stripe.
A lot of good experience on this X-Men team. Logan Rick, we've got Luke Green and Max Bodertha, but Logan Rick, looking at him here, as our leading scorer for the X-Men with 6 this season. Very strong player. Had a goal yesterday against the York Lions, unfortunately coming up a little bit short, but definitely a player to watch out for.
Yeah, Rick scoring that only goal for the X-Men in the extra time that was added on at the end of the second half. Unfortunately, did not much then other than cut the lead to 1 at the time. Really great effort as he did an individual play, volleying it with his right foot, and was able to finish off with a really neat tuck in just over the outstretched arm of the York Lions goalie. And now the Cougars trying to get something going, and it will stay in bounds. The St. FX X-Men looking for the offside flag, but it remains down. DeRoca, our player to watch yesterday for the Cougars. He had 8 goals in the regular season for Mount Royal, as they were the champions, or they lost in the Canada West Finals, a 1-0 defeat to the UBC Thunderbirds, coming in the finals. As we take a look at this first really good chance, there goes down the Cougars player that's resulting in the free kick. That's already the 4th free kick awarded to Mount Royal. So St. FX are going to have to look to clean up their challenges if they want to stay out of this foul trouble.
Yeah, another foul conceded by Kyle Cordero. Looks like our player to watch, Ethan Keene's going to whip this into the box for the Cougars.
Looking for the back post. It's cleared away by the X-Men as DeRoca goes up for the header. Controlled. Down the right side with Tongo Lolo. Was not in the game yesterday. Getting the start today for the Cougars. It's crossed in, and Diltz will go and just take that off the post, looking for that cross.
Yeah, good claim from Diltz. pretty good play off the free kick from the Cougars, being able to get across into the box on this right-hand side, but the big man in net does a great job of claiming that.
We just get a quick stoppage as Dilts ran into that post on our near side, knocking it back a couple of inches. The referee stopping, trying to get the net set up, and we'll have a drop kick. But as a result, Samuel Dilts, who is the fourth-year student out of Newmarket, Ontario, will be able to pick it up and get back into play. Bodertha swings it out to DeDecker. St. FX been favoring this near side throughout the first 9 minutes so far of this Consolation semifinal number 1. Cougars will play it back to Strauss, the native of Stockensdorf, Germany, in his third year with Mount Royal. Getting it involved was basically what I thought was the player of the game yesterday for the Cougars, making numerous saves. He made 7 saves in total, but was called upon 3 times in the first 20 minutes to keep the Cougars in it. DeDecker is going to try the left side. Going for a run, but it's taken away by Nazabu. Nazabu with it now, looking to get things started. Pressure by the X-Men, almost taking a page out of the book of the Lions that led to their defeat yesterday. Long chance at goal. McIntyre trying his luck there, and he sends it sailing above the crossbar.
Yeah, Noah McIntyre, an ex-Humber Hawk player, was the player of the match for the St. FX X-Men yesterday, and we'll take another look at that shot here. Just gets a little underneath it, rises a little too high, and doesn't challenge Strauss in net.
From a different angle, we'll get a chance to take another look at it as the Cougars bring it in on the goal kick, looking for a through ball, but beautifully intercepted by Green on that X-Men back line. The X-Men are going to try the right side this time. Ville back. X-Men trying to build something here in the midfield, but they give it right away as it was taken away by Sue Ryu. Cougars trying to slow things down. Really didn't having anything going in this first 10 minutes of the game. DeDecker being challenged as the turnover. Cougars, Nazibu getting an opportunity, driving, looking to bring it into the box, but it's turned away by, and this is going to be a foul. That's an easy call for the official, giving the St. FX X-Men the free kick.
Pretty back and forth start from both teams so far. Looking back at the foul here on Cam Shaw, just gets knocked down by Flaxman. Pretty easy call for the referee, but there's a lot of experience on both sides. This season alone, we had 3 All-Canadians on the X-Men side, with Luke Green being a first-team All-Canadian alongside his teammate Logan Riek, along with Kyle Cordero being named the second-team All-Canadian. So a lot of experience on both sides, and you can see that early on here.
Exactly. Experience, a big piece. Both of these teams were also at the U Sports Nationals last year. Both were looking for a better result than what they were able to accomplish last year. St. FX finishing with the 4th spot. St. FX trying to get something going. Ville trying to get into the box, and will be cleared away by the captain, Rogozinski, into the fans that are here at today's game. We can hear those students even over here on the far side through our perch as the X-Men will throw it in. They'll play it all the way back. Bodertha slowing things down and swinging it to the near side. DeDecker challenging there with Flaxman. Big battle ensues as it's taken away, and a throw-in coming up for the Cougars.
U Sports on CBC has all the action of the 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship from Wickwire Pitch in Halifax. Catch exclusive coverage of the tournament from Dalhousie University. The 2024 BMO U Sports Women's Soccer Championship, November 7th to 10th, exclusive to U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
X-Men taking control on the back line as Green slows it down. He'll get it back as he looks like he's pinned in a corner. Cougars are happy with where he is, and Green's going to be forced to play it long, looking for Ville on the sideline, and the wind just taking that out of play, and we'll get a throw-in come up for the Cougars.
Yeah, not the ball Luke Green was looking for, looking to drive it into his teammate's chest probably, and looking to turn. Luke Green, a very strong player. I've seen him a number of times at St. FX, along with playing this summer at Guelph United in League One Ontario. but a very experienced center back for the St. FX X-Men.
We see DeRoca going down. Our player to watch yesterday, still down on the turf. He had to be removed in yesterday's contest as the X-Men will play the ball out of play, and a really good sportsmanship there as the stoppage and allowing the trainer to come out and take a look at the midfielder, DeRoca.
Yeah, DeRoca is such an incredibly important player for the Mount Royal Cougars. He looks like he's going to be all right hopping up quickly, but you definitely don't want to lose him for this matchup.
Miguel DeRoca, the fifth-year business student out of Caracas, Venezuela, one of the number of international players for this Mount Royal squad as they return the sportsmanship and will send the ball right back to the X-Men. So that's one thing that I like about the soccer is the respect and the sportsmanship. We got to see both teams delivering some of that right there on the far side. That was Berdurtha swinging it to the near side as McIntyre has it go out of bounds off of a Cougars player as we're approaching the quarter-hour mark here in this Consolation semifinal number 1. Still zeros on the board, and neither team has registered a shot on goal.
Yeah, team's still feeling each other out. It's a cold day out there today. Neither team has had a good look at net, and we're looking to get a little bit more offensive opportunities as we continue in this first half.
Cougars starting to apply a little pressure as they're trying to force the turnover deep in the defending zone of the X-Men as they'll move it up across midfield. A through ball looking on for Rick, and it's turned away by the Cougars. DeRoca will try and settle it down. He'll get control of that, moving it to the far side. As Mount Royal trying to mount something here. DeRoca not liking what he saw, will regroup and send it to the captain, Rogozinski. Flaxman with the little flip, a tug of a jersey, allowed to play on. Taking a run there is Ethan Keene. Our player to watch will send it towards goal. It goes off a green, and we're going to get the first corner kick of this semifinal match, and it will be the Mount Royals from the near side.
Another player to keep an eye out for in this game is the aforementioned Strauss in net, as you were saying, Derek. Such an incredible game yesterday. It's unfortunate for him to lose out to the Carabin 1-0, but he had such a great performance.
I took a look there, and I'm like, is that really Strauss up at midfield as he's wandered all the way up? Not really getting involved, but a keeper that likes to stay active, likes to stay involved in the game, and a very vocal piece. A good keeper you can hear even through the glass that we have here, and needs to be a very vocal point, really directing his team as that corner looking for the back post. Matangolo has it, plays it there for Rogozinski, who came up for this set piece on the back door, just sending it wide. Our first great look at goal. Otango for Pong, not really getting the touch on it that he was hoping for, and this is going to go another corner kick coming up. This time it will be on the far side as we get another look at this great opportunity, and we can see the touch just there off the keeper Diltz and then hitting green before it going out for this corner kick on the far side.
Yeah, good save from Diltz. Closed the space well, and now it's going to be a corner kick for the Cougars.
Sue this time looking for the near post, easily gathered up by Diltz, and he'll quickly throw it up to Ville. Ville taking his space, going for a long run on that far side. DeRoca doing a great job chasing him down, and it goes out of touch, and it's going to be a St. FX throw-in.
Caden Rogozinski, the one who swung that ball in for the Cougars, giving them the chance on goal. Another important player for their team. Their center back, their captain, a multiple-time All-Canadian, and was selected by Cavalry in the 2022 and 2024 CPL drafts. So some pro experience from him as well.
Cougars will take up deep in their own territory. Keene trying to get through the middle. Stopped up there. The Cougars, DeRoca, looking to play a through ball, trying to find the foot of Otang for Pong. He's engaged in a battle. The X-Men player goes down, and after a Cougars player going down too, we're going to get a foul called against the X-Men.
Yeah, it seemed like DeDecker just got a little turned over on that ball. Tried to shield it from the couple Cougars, but ended up falling on it, and I think the ref had no choice than to give it to the Cougars' way.
Yeah, you got to really respect the play that was going on there. And the last player to go down, Flaxman, still rubbing his head, and just curious how the officials allowing this to go on after some of the little calls that were bringing attention to the head injuries yesterday. And we're going to get to see Keene prepare for a dangerous free kick for Mount Royal and the Cougars.
Yeah, it's a tough position. You don't know whether you swing this in, try to get Rogozinski or Daroka on it, or potentially hit this. He looks like he's looking at the net, so we'll see what he does here.
The natural curl will be held by the Wind, and Diltz just getting a fingertip on it, sending it over the bar, and this will set up another corner kick, the third of the half, as we go to the far side, as we take another look at that set piece. You can see Keene eyeing the goal all the way. He'll deliver with a beautiful strike off the left. It looks like it's going to drop just underneath the bar, and Diltz pushing back will get it just to tip it over top, and it's going to give the Cougars this corner kick on the far side. Sue Ryu will go take it for the Cougars.
Yeah, Dilt's such a big goalkeeper. It's tough to beat him from that range, but nonetheless, to get a corner out of it.
Last time they tried short from this area. This time they're going to go for the middle of the goal. It's headed away by the X-Men, and Sue Ryu again swinging it in. Cleared away. And the Cougars just happy to keep putting it back into the box. This Flaxman header not getting much on it, and it's either easily gathered up by Diltz. Cougars now with 2 shots on goal and a hard tackle. We're going to see the yellow card. DeDecker going to get carded here. That's going to be his first of the game, as Flaxman still on the turf. And for DeDecker, that's his second of the championship, as we take a look at this reckless challenge, as Flaxman already getting contact of the ball before DeDecker's left foot comes in there, almost waist high, taking Flaxman to the turf.
I don't know if the ref would have potentially thought about more than a yellow card in that situation. It was pretty high. It looks like the studs were potentially showing, but DeDecker gets away with a yellow card with a high challenge on Flaxman.
And being an official myself, I do a lot of men's games, and I have been involved in one OUA. Early on in the game, I'm going to lean on the side of accidental and show just the yellow. Yes, it was a little more reckless than that, but I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the defending player, especially early on in a contest. We haven't seen really the animosity between these two teams yet. There's no real dislike down there on the field. It's nothing more than just a quick warning, and hopefully that will just be enough to calm things down.
Yeah, you never really want to be the reason as a referee to change a game so much with a red card. If it's blatant and obvious, of course you're going to give it, but you want to keep it as even as possible to give both teams a good opportunity to win this match.
Especially, we're only 21 minutes in the game, and you don't want to be the one that makes that big change with still, you're looking at still 25, 45 minutes. You're looking at still 70 minutes of soccer to play, and that would have meant that the X-Men would have been down to 10 players at the time. Shaw. Back he goes. McIntyre now, who came on, did not start for the X-Men yesterday, getting the start today. The player of the game yesterday for Saint FX, McIntyre, trying to direct traffic as he gets it back. DeDecker. X-Men getting hemmed in on this near side, looking for a way to try and get the field switched as Green will play it back to the keeper, Diltz. Bedurtha. Playing the long ball, looking, it's headed, it'll go out a touch, and it'll be a Saint FX throw-in.
The best outdoor racers in Canada are Kelowna, BC this weekend for the 2024 U Sports Cross Country Championship. Catch U Sports on CBC's exclusive coverage, beginning with the men's 8K race at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by the women's 8K race at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the 2024 U Sports Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships, exclusively on U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
DeDecker and Bordertha, as they're going to try and switch the field. Green now with it. Looking to play a long ball, but waiting for it is the head of Kimsley, one of our key players in yesterday's game. The center back's kind of getting overlooked. Phil challenging Kimsley, and Strauss getting the first touch, making a great save, diving to his right.
Yeah, great ball from Riak just to split that Cougars back line. Vil with his pace gets in behind, is able to get in behind the Cougars back line, running out, gets a good shot off, but as we mentioned earlier, beating Strauss in that range is very difficult. He's a good goalie.
Strauss, the good goaltender, as the team's now trading chances as Flaxman going for a run down the left, or the right, trying to get it to the center, trying to get a lane for that left, looking to curl it in. The far post was there as Diltz makes a great dive and save. He touches it beyond the touchline, and another corner kick coming up for the Cougars.
That's exceptional play from both parties there. Flaxman with a good step over, left-footed shot. I thought it was curling in, but it's a great, strong right arm from Diltz to save that.
Here we take a look from that field level. You can almost see from that angle, you see it curling in, and it took every inch of Diltz's frame to knock that just past the post. Great effort by both, and it's going to result in this corner kick. Sue Ryu over there to take it. This swing curl, Diltz going up above, taking it off the head of Flaxman. Great job there. Well read by the keeper. Both teams, we've seen them open up, being a little quiet in the first 17, 18 minutes, and really play has opened up since, as both teams getting some chances on goal. As here's another one, as Shaw making the run. He gets hauled down just as he enters the box, and play being allowed to carry on as Strauss gathers it up off the turf.
Yeah, it looked like a little coming together between Nezebu and Shaw. I think Shaw was looking for a slight elbow as he tried to get around the outside of Nezebu, but ref doesn't give it a call, and Strauss is going to get us started again.
Strauss just putting on the turf, really playing a possession game, waiting for that pressure before he delivers it onto the head of the Axeman DeDecker. And just some sloppy plays. They give the ball right back to the Cougars as they slow things down. Rogozinski with it, the captain of this squad, as him and Kemsley will just try and take a look before they push matters up the field. Nezebu will play it back. Really, the pace just really slowing down. Neither team wanting to take a chance here, as knowing how important that first goal has been in these championships.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit more action these last 10 minutes. A couple of shots from each team, and hopefully that continues.
Over to the far side it goes. The Cougars trying to build, but it's taken away by the Axemen. And a slide there, winning it for the Axemen as Ville battling for it against Keene. It goes out of touch, and the flag will be in favor of the Cougars for the throw-in.
Yeah, Fergus Hall came flying in with a sliding challenge. Definitely clean, won the ball, and gave it over to Viltz. But it does look like Ville picked up a yellow card. I'm not sure what it was for. Potentially some talking back to the referee, but nonetheless, he's got a yellow now.
The second booking of this game, Diane Ville, also with a yellow in the game yesterday. So I'm pretty sure the building of yellows sits at 3 for a miss of the next, as we'll have to take this kick over again as the official wasn't ready for the game to restart.
Yeah, the X-Men ended up intercepting that quick free kick, but the ref's going to bring it back.
This time they'll change up how they deliver the restart, as they'll just play a possession game. Rogozinski with it. Playing it back to the keeper, Strauss. Strauss getting a little pressure, bringing it out of the box, continuing the giveaway. Rick just sending it to the goal and coming over the save. It was Kemsley.
Yeah, smart defending from Kemsley. Strauss kind of got himself into a tricky situation with a couple X-Men around him, but Riak couldn't get enough on it, and Kemsley ended up clearing.
Rick again delivering the left, looking for the head of a teammate, but it's cleared away by Nezebu, and the foot of Keene will get it out to the midfield stripe. Nezebu making a good run to intercept that pass. Cougars, Keene looking to get things going, back to Kemsley. Again, they'll trade it, and now they'll try the far side. Ryu has some space, makes a run. Looking to swing it, making the ball through, but it's taken away and gathered up by DeDecker, and he'll just play it back to the keeper. St. FX looking to move it as they play some possession game themselves in their own zone. Ville gets knocked down from behind, and we're going to get the free kick given. It'll be just a throw-in coming up for the X-Men.
Yeah, it looked like a clean challenge for me. Ville and Ryu just kind of coming together.
X-Men bring it over. Ryu will take down Cordero, and it's going to give as we get some more pushing and shoving as DeRoca gives a shove from behind, and we'll see what happens as a result of that as DeRoca getting picked out of the pile.
Yeah, Ryu with a challenge on Cordero. Seemed like Cordero was just down on the ground, and then
there's the initial foul as Ryu gives Cordero a push, a little more than just shoulder that is allowed, as we see DeRoca getting some words there. Also Fergus Hall, the player that DeRoca pushed from behind, the cards remaining in the pocket, though, of the official.
Yeah, there's always going to be emotion in this game, even if it is a consolation semifinal. These competitive athletes want to win everything, and DeRoca just standing up for his teammate there.
And you're looking at a player like DeRoca. He's in his fifth-year eligibility. This possibly could be his last U Sports ever soccer game.
Yeah, of course he doesn't want that to happen and wants to be a contributor to make sure his team gets to that consolation final tomorrow.
Yeah, that consolation final will be played tomorrow afternoon. The only game on the Saturday on the docket here at Vassals Field in Oshawa. That consolation final you can catch on CBC YouTube coming up. It's a 5 o'clock start. And the winner of this game will take on the winner of our second consolation semifinal, which will be on CBC coming up at 1:30. And that will feature the UNB Reds taking on the host Ontario Tech Ridgebacks. St. FX with the throw in. As the ball goes back out of touch, and it will be another throw in for St. FX. Looking for Ville, goes past him. Cordero trying to swing it, goes off the leg of Keene, and it will be another X-Men throw in.
On a cold day today, looks like we've got another bunch of kids coming in from elementaries. Looking at our goalkeeper for the St. FX X-Men, we've mentioned him a couple times today. 2 goals against on 5 saves against the York Lions. I think he had a good game, but again, the York Lions, they were offensively very strong in the first half. Zeppieri ended up scoring the U Sports Player of the Year on a penalty kick in the second half to kind of put the game away. But Dilt's another strong goalie for the X-Men.
Diane Ville going down hard in the corner. Looks like there was a push there from the Cougars player as it's bringing some attention as Mutongolo was the player with the foul there, and Ville slow to get back to his feet as he went crashing into that barrier on the far side. As the officials, both the center and the AR over there to ensure nothing else gets out of hand. This game's got a little bit of animosity going on the last few minutes. And really, we don't feel the temperature, but the temperature is heating up down there on the turf between these two teams.
Yeah, as much as the temperature's heating up, it's still definitely cold out there. And having played in cold weather, everything feels worse when you get into challenges. So I'm sure Ville is feeling the pain from that tackle. And he is back on the field, so it looks like he's going to be all right to continue.
And he's going to be allowed to stay on the field. Usually we see after the training staff comes out that the player has to stay on the sideline until he gets waved back on. But Ville will be able to continue as this free kick coming up just 2 yards inside from the corner. X-Men looking, curling it, looking for that post. You can really see the wind holding that one up as it's cleared away by the head of Flaxman. X-Men trying to get it back into the box, but it goes out of touch, and it will be another throw-in coming up for the X-Men.
Yeah, that free kick from Cam Shaw just kind of got caught up in the wind. It's difficult in these situations with the strong gusts. It's more important to kind of drive that ball into the box and just get a nice flick from one of your taller players, looking like Luke Green or Max Bedertha.
And on that cross, you can just see how the backspin was amplified by the wind and just holding that ball up, allowing Flaxman to get underneath of it as the X-Men, DeDecker, trying to find a way down this left side, trying to get it in. McIntyre, DeDecker with the leave, and the flag goes up, and the X-Men called for the offside.
Yeah, X-Men disappointed with that. I'm sure they would have wanted to challenge Strauss in that, but it's going to be a free kick for the Cougars.
Strauss to take the free kick. 33 minutes into this contest. Still zeros on the scoreboards The Mount Royal Cougars with one more shot, out shooting the X-Men 3-2 here as DeRoca gets the first touch as a battle there. Flaxman will try and settle it down. Trying to look down the right side. Flaxman still has it. Nice through ball there, but coming out of his goal to cover that one and jump on top of it was Diltz.
Yeah, Flaxman, a very strong player for the Cougars, someone that I saw last year at the National Championships at Cape Breton, and he's impressed me in the early stages of this game as well.
Flaxman got a lot of attention yesterday in that loss, really being an instrumental piece, trying to get that equalizer for the Cougars late in the play. Unfortunately, falling to the Carabin by a score of 1-0. Ville with it, trying the through ball, looking to make a run, was Van Wychen, and it was kept in, and it's cleared away by the Cougars up to midfield. McIntyre looking, swings it back to the far side. X-Men not happy with that. They see, so they're looking to go back to the drawing board as it's sent back to the back four. De Decker. Let's try the left side. Shaw. Cadero. All the way back to De Decker. Logan Rick, the goal scorer for the X-Men last year. Swinging it to the far side. That one goes behind Fergus Hall. Hall. Back to Green as the X-Men start to shift to the right. Hall towards the goal. It's on the foot of Shaw, and Shaw will put it in. The X-Men up on top, 1-0 here, 35 minutes into this game.
It's a great ball and a great finish by Cameron Shaw. The X-Men get up 1-0 on the Cougars. They're going to look to try to respond, but it's a good start from the X-Men. We'll get another look at the goal here.
Let's take a look at this goal as Hall will curl it in. Shaw getting the one touch and the nice no-look backheel kick, putting it past the stretched arm of Strauss, and a beautiful goal for the X-Men, have them up 1-0.
That's a confident finish from Cameron Shaw. Takes one touch in the box, kind of gets spun around, but has the thought to take the back heel, and it's a great finish. It beats Strauss. I'm sure he probably wasn't predicting he was going to do that.
And that's the thing. Another thing I used to do in my youth was a keeper, and you expect that player, you usually know which foot they're dominant with. You're expecting them to settle it down, turn to that dominant foot. You're not expecting that back heel, and Shaw just uses that to his advantage to make it 1-0 here. 35 minutes into this Consolation semifinal number 1.
Yeah, it's a great bit of creativity from Cameron Shaw there in the 6-yard box.
As the Cougars looking to respond, Mutongolo working the left side, taken away, being hauled down was the back line of DeBertha as Keane, Cordero, the captain of the X-Men, trying to get something going. McIntyre, out it goes to our goal scorer Shaw, looking to get it back into the box. Shaw still with it as he got it back. We'll try to play it back. McIntyre. This midfield has been really active for the X-Men. Green to Logan Rick, trying to find a way to penetrate this back line. The left foot. Ville towards the goal. Cordero going after it and getting there first was Strauss. Nizubu back to the keeper as the Cougars gaining possession here and slowing things down. Kemsley. Little miscommunication there, forcing Rogozinski to play it quickly, and Kemsley will try and get it out of danger as his left foot clears it. Headed back in by the X-Men. Looking for more here in the second half. Shaw header down to Cordero. It's cleared away as Keane will get it up. Flaxman looking for the run of Otang Frapong. He gets tackled, and a great job there by Bodertha to win that challenge and win the ball back for the X-Men.
Yeah, on that last chance, Cameron Shaw, very smart play. He knew he wasn't going to get enough power to challenge Strauss, and that heading it down to Cordero was a smart play. It just didn't come off for him.
X-Men looking to build upon the momentum they've gathered here after that opening goal.
CBC is your home for exclusive coverage of the Vanier Cup playoffs. Catch the 2024 UTech and Mitchell Bowl Saturday, November 16th, and the 2024 Vanier Cup Championship game from Richardson Stadium in Kingston on November 23rd. The kickoff is at 1 p.m. on CBC Television, CBC Gem, and CBCSports.ca. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
McIntyre making a run to the top of the box. Does get in it, but he loses control as it rolls down to Strauss. Cougars find themselves in a hole here, down 1-0 as Cameron Shaw put up the home side. The St. FX X-Men up by a score of 1-0. Left foot looking for Ville on the run. He'll try and settle it down inside the box. Looking to get that left free. Back to the right. Cross. Shaw with the one-timer. Just sends it over top of the bar.
That's great play again from the X-Men. Logan Riek, the talisman in the middle. It's a great switch of play. Just a knocked ball over the top to his teammate Ville. Couple step overs. Tries to cut it back to Cameron Shaw, and he just gets underneath it. After a couple good chances, you probably expect him to put that one away, but just flies over the bar.
After that goal, St. FX really getting some momentum and building on that confidence as they're trying to get more insurance here late in this first half of play. Otang for Pong trying to win it. He goes down and loses control to the X-Men. Riek has it. Sends it over to Hall. Riek gets it back. Looking for some open field. Tons of field open here on the near side. Swung over. Shaw looking to close in. Doesn't have enough to get all the way out to him. As Shaw battling for it against Nazibu. Nazibu will win the challenge and gets it up ahead to the forward. Flaxman with the through ball. DeRoca trying to get the back heel on it, but gives up possession as it rolls down to the keeper.
As a very attacking-minded player in DeRoca and Frimpong up top, I think Luke Green and Max Badertha have done a great job on the two of them so far.
Those two center backs kind of get overlooked. When you're talking about a lot of players, you're looking at a lot of recognition based on the goal players that get those goals and assists. A lot of those center backs, especially two that are as good as Green and Badertha, get a lot overlooked, but they're really essential when you're looking to make those runs, especially getting to the U Sports Nationals.
Yeah, great players. Two players who have both been through the Halifax Wanderers Academy and have been drafted in previously in Max Badertha. But, yeah, they both deserve credit for the job they've done in their St. FX careers and throughout in this national championship.
And that's St. FX. That's Green now with it. Luke Green, the fourth-year student out of Fall River, Nova Scotia, up to Dianville, trying to get some space, but it's closed off by the Cougars, and the Cougars will try and settle things down here on the back line. Keane to Ryu. Rio not liking, so he'll just send it back to Kemsley. The goaltender Strauss will play it up to the midfield. It's taken away. Riek trying to settle the things down, looking for that give and go with Shaw. Riek not responding, and we're going to get a foul given against St. FX, and it's going to give the Cougars an opportunity to settle things down here with the free kick.
Yeah, it looks like a little tie-up between Cordero and Riek and Shaw. I thought Riek was going to hit that on the top of the box, but just doesn't come off with Shaw trying a back heel.
Just a little miscommunication there on that give and go. Shaw giving the back heel, trying to set up Rick for that run. Unfortunately, Riek had already stopped his momentum. As the Cougars trying to get some possession here. Kemsley now with it, just outside of his own 18-yard box. We'll get it back. Rogozinski trying to lose it. If ball gets too far ahead from him. Cordero outside the Ville on the far side. X-Men did have numbers. It's laid off, and another opportunity as Van Wychen sends it flying over top of the crossbar.
Yeah, you can start to see the way the game's starting to shape up here. The X-Men winning all the first and second balls in the middle of the field. Rogozinski with a little misplaced pass, trying to find his teammate DeRoca, and just a little too much on the pass from Cordero, but it's good opportunities from St. FX.
DeRoca with it at midfield, trying to get that ball through. It hits the back of the player Van Wychen, and the X-Men trying to push something through, but Keane will win the challenge, gets it back to the keeper, Strauss. Rogozinski, Nazubu, playing it up the line. Flaxman comes back to help out. Cougars really getting hemmed in their half now. Cordero sliding. Big challenge there coming in to help out. DeDecker trying to get into the box, goes shoulder to shoulder as the captain Rogozinski and De Decker exchanging some pleasantries there.
Yeah, it's good play from Ville again, but Rogozinski did well to shield out De Decker and remove the attack from the St. FX X-Men.
And we're going to get a free kick coming up for the Cougars. 43 minutes now gone. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first 45. Still will not know how much added time we will have until we see the board go up at the 45-minute mark. Strauss sending his teammates long, looking to deliver the long ball. All the way down into the X-Men zone. It will be picked up by the alternate keeper, Diltz, as the two will just trade the ball. Diltz this time will just roll it back into play. Ville waiting for it at the midfield stripe. He's got Rio all over his back as it goes out of touch. And the flag up for the Cougars on the sideline. The center official is going to overrule and give the ball to St. FX, so we're going to have to redo that throw-in. Big throw, looking down for the captain, Cadero. Cadero all by himself. He does have Shaw at the back post trying to make a move into the area, and it's intercepted, and Kemsley will come out with winning that challenge.
Yeah, well defended by Kemsley. Cordero, a very tricky player, scored the winner in the AUS final against UNB. He was looking to beat Kemsley at the back there, but he defended very well.
Kemsley just keeping the possession, keeping himself between the body and the goal, knowing that the Cougars had the numbers back in the defensive zone, not having to force the issue, allowing Cadero to really take the move to him, and Kemsley taking it away from him. Rio with the throw-in on the far side. Keene setting things up from the center stripe. Near side. The board goes up. We'll see 1 minute of added time will go on at the end of this first half. 45 minutes is taken off the board. So we have at least 1 minute to go here until the first half comes to a close.
Yeah, there was a couple stoppages, but I don't think there was too much. Maybe a couple extra minutes of added time, but the ref ends up giving only one here.
Ball coming to the half and a free kick given to the X-Men. As the foul will go against Nazibu. It'll be McIntyre setting up the free kick. De Decker will take it and just play it to the center back, Luke Green. The X-Men happy just to take that 1-0 lead into the halftime. But they'll turn it over. Flaxman looking for the through ball for Keene. Lets it go. DeRoca onto the foot of Matongo. Back to DeRoca delivering it. Another great save as that was destined for the short side. Diltz will knock it out of play for a corner kick.
Yeah, ball getting swung into the box by Flaxman. Smart play from Keene and DeRoca to let them go. The ball was behind two of them, and they didn't want to get a poor touch on it. The ball ends up coming into the box, and it's a good shot on goal by DeRoca.
Rio will take the kicks from that far side. This is the fourth corner from that left side as Rio looking to swing it in. Out to the penalty. It's punched away, and we're going to get a foul called against the Cougars in the box.
Yeah, it seemed like Diltz was just coming out to punch that. Kemsley and looked like Luke Green just got tied up, but that's going to be the end of the first half here.
Great first half of play. It's the X-Men getting the only goal of the game as it was Cameron Shaw with the marker for St. FX as our U Sports halftime show features the Pepsi U Sports Champion Spotlight and the first half stats and highlights when we return to Oshawa. The score at the end of the first half, it's the St. FX leading the Mount Royal Cougars by a score of 1-0. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
All the goals.
That is a worldie!
All the drama.
That is absolute chaos!
It all leads to this.
Are you kidding me?
The Canadian Premier League Final, Saturday at 3 Eastern.
How are your investments doing? That was on purpose. You know that topic always throws me off.
Lots of people feel that way. But don't worry, BMO's got advice to spare with any investment guidance and support you need.
I need some.
And you'll get it with personalized investing recommendations to help you feel confident in your decisions.
I'm curious. Do you roll as good as you help?
Falling mode.
It's yes, by the way.
BMO.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. Earlier this fall, U Sports and PepsiCo Foods Canada announced an innovative partnership, marking a significant step towards supporting the career development of student athletes and positively impacting the future of Canadian university sport. They're proud to bring you the PepsiCo Foods Canada U Sports Champion Spotlight. Today, Sarah Saeed speaks with former Guelph Griffins soccer and track star Jacqueline Madago on her journey from the U of G Guelph campus to becoming an Olympian in Paris.
I'm with Jacqueline Madogo, who's a track athlete that formerly competed at Guelph University, but this year competed in the 2024 Paris Olympics in track and field. Jacqueline, what is it like for you to kind of make that transition from soccer into track, and why did you choose Guelph University to do that?
I was actually at a soccer tournament, and the assistant coach Onkar ended up finding my email, and he emailed me, and he was like, "Oh, we're having this like showcase. I think you should come out. Like, we saw you play. Like, I participated in their showcase, and like, at first I was like, oh my God, it's really small. Like, I don't know if I would like this. I don't know if like it's like my vibe." When I started talking to the coaches more, I got to know the head coach Shane, and then I got to know Onkar a little bit more, and then Al, and I was like, oh my God, these people are incredible. And then they brought me back for like an official visit, and that's when I was like, oh, I'm coming here. Like, it's a sealed deal. Like, this is it. This is where I'm going to spend the next 4 years. It feels like I wasn't just going to this school. I was really like embraced into the community, and that's how it feels today.
So you were part of the women's relay team, and you finished 6th, and you also had a national record with that team. You're a soccer girl, so you're used to being on a team. What was it like for you, though, to participate in the relay team? Can you kind of tell me a little bit about that experience as well?
Going to the semis, I literally texted my coach the night before, and I was like, we need to run the Canadian record to make the finals. Like, I just said, like, before we went in, I was like, guys, like, we win as a team, we lose as a team. Like, when the race finished and we were waiting and we saw the time, I think I was the only one that realized that we had broken the Canadian record, because I knew it. It was like engraved in my head what the time was. So then I started like celebrating, and the girls were like, why are you celebrating? Because we're still waiting if we're a small queue. I was like, guys, we just broke the Canadian record. Like, they were like, oh, like, hey. And then we got the small queue. Like as soon as I finished that sentence, we got the small queue to like go to the finals, and then like everything just erupted, and we all like started celebrating.
So if any U Sports athlete or high school athlete wants to do what you've done, whether that's transitioning from one sport to another or competing in the Olympics, what advice would you have to give them?
Coming into university, I was very closed-minded, and this curveball came along, and I had to be open-minded. And now in life, everything, I just keep an open mind. You never know what can happen. You never know where things can lead you. I don't think when I came in university that I was going to make the 2024 Olympics. I don't think that was in my radar. Just take every opportunity that comes knocking. Honestly, it's just A, it helps you grow as a person, and B, you get a cool experience out of it. So I just say, keep your mind open and just embrace everything that comes your way.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
La dépendance à la nicotine se manifeste sournoisement. Méfie-toi.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. Every year, U Sports celebrates its best student athletes, honoring major accomplishments in each sport. Here are the nominees and winner of the 2024 U Sports Rookie of the Year Award.
The nominees for the 2024 Lou Billick Award for the U Sports Men's Soccer Rookie of the Year are, en nomination pour le prix Lou Billick décerné à la recrue de l'année 2024 en soccer masculin. Du sport universitaire de l'Atlantique, from the AUS, Mohamed Tolba, Université Dalhousie University. Du réseau du sport étudiant du Québec, from the RCQ, Samir Gia, Université de Montréal, University of Montreal. Des sports universitaires de l'Ontario, from the OUA, Luca Achitola, Université York University. Et de l'Association Ouest Canadienne, from Canada West, Henri Gobou, Université de la Colombie-Britannique, University of British Columbia. Le lauréat du prix Lou Billick en tant que recrue de l'année en soccer masculin U-Sport est, the winner of the Lou Billick Award as U-Sports Men's Soccer Rookie of the Year is Luca Achitola, Université York University.
nicotine addiction sneaks up on you. Beware.
Make some noise for your Ontario Tech. Falling everywhere. What? Fear and no regrets. What? Knocking out the banks. Yeah. Blocking up the rest. I am a Ridgeback. If you're a Ridgeback, make some falling everywhere. What? Fear and no regrets. What? Knocking out the banks. Yeah. Blocking up the
All the goals,
That is a worldie!
all the drama.
That is absolute chaos!
It all leads to this.
Are you kidding me?
The Canadian Premier League Final, Saturday at 3 Eastern.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Nuclear power is lighting the path to the future. A future where clean, reliable electricity meets rising energy needs. A future with a prosperous economy founded on job growth. A future where new medical isotopes triumph over disease. For decades, Bruce Power has provided clean, reliable energy to Ontario and cancer-fighting isotopes across the globe, and will continue to play a vital role in powering a clean economy for the next generation.
Welcome back to Vassal's Field here in Oshawa, Ontario, as this is U Sports on CBC. We're through 45 minutes of Consolation Semifinal number 1 between the St. FX X-Men and the Mount Royal Cougars. It's the X-Men on a goal by Cameron Shaw that is leading the Cougars by a score of 1-0. My name's Derek Lindemann. I'm joined by Jacob Bagley. Jacob, one goal in that first half, and really St. FX has taken over control ever since that goal by Shaw.
Yeah, we'll see highlights in a second here, but honestly, as much as St. FX has dominated with a goal from Shaw, I think the Cougars are still in this match. Like, Flaxman had a great opportunity on goal. We'll see here a header from the Cougar and a good shot by Frimpong. It just goes wide, but I think Diltz has made a couple good saves. The X-Men are on top, so I'm sure their coach is going to be a little happier. But we'll see this opportunity here. The Cougars are making good chances. They're not getting the last shot on goal, and the opportunities are coming. But as we see here, Cameron Shaw with a fantastic finish.
Fantastic finish. That back heel giving the X-Men that 1-goal lead. And just Fergus Hall with a great feed to find Shaw in front of the goal. As we take a look at the first time half, shots pretty equal. St. FX out shooting 7-6. But the Cougars doubling up on target 6-3. St. FX continuing with giving a lot of fouls. They've given up 6 fouls to only 4 in corners. 4 for the Cougars in that first half, and nothing on the St. FX side. Set pieces really haven't been really involved in this game. It could be a big piece in the second half. Jacob, if you're the Cougars, how do you make some adjustments at halftime to try and get back into this?
I don't know if necessarily it's a personnel adjustment, but I think you really want to get Flaxman and Doroka into this game a little bit more. You started to see Doroka dropping in a little bit lower at the end of that first half, and he's just trying to make a little bit too much. You want to get him up the field. You want to get Flaxman up the field because those are your danger men. Those are the players that are going to be creative. They're going to make opportunities for you, and I think if they want to get back in this game, those are the 2 key players that they need to get the ball to.
And then if we look at the flip side, and you're the head coach of the St. FX X-Men, Graham Kennedy, you got that 1-goal lead. Do you sit back and protect it for the entire 45?
No, I think it's difficult against such a good team like the Cougars. As we noted in the first half, Max Bedertha and Luke Green have been essential so far in this game and negating some of those attacks from the Cougars. And Diltz has been great in that. But I don't think you can really just sit back and accept the pressure. You need to try to get that second goal. But as we know, if the Cougars do grab that first of the game for them and make it 1-1, then we're going to have a game in our hands for sure.
The Cougars making a trio of substitutions will get you up to date as the half gets started for the 11. But the one that I really want to note on is the change in keeper. Bryce Brenton will get the action in the second half. He'll take out Gerard Strauss, who has an excellent 3 quarters or 3 halves of action. Does this have to do anything? It can't be to do with how Strauss has been playing.
No, I saw a couple players run out to Strauss at the end of that first half. I'm sure it does seem like a pre-game decision to kind of split the time in this Consolation matchup. So we'll see how the Cougars change their play style with a new goalkeeper, and we'll see how he does compared to Strauss as well.
We will get you caught up to the starting 11 of the second half for both teams momentarily, as Mount Royal will start with possession of the ball, but it's St. FX that takes over with possession on the Cougar side of half. Looking to see if they can build anything on the near side. We saw them work the left side a lot in the first half, and we'll see if they continue that, as it's looking like they're trying to find a way to get it over to De Decker. Bodertha being chased down as Flaxman looking to show a little bit of extra energy coming out of this first half as the flag goes up, and we're going to get an offside, as that was kind of a different looking offside as Cadero came back from that offside position to get involved into the play.
We'll get an update again, as you mentioned, on some of the changes for St. FX, but it does look like the number 21, Frimpong, the big striker up top for the Cougars, has come off. As we see the number 20, Daroka, that we did mention, we want to see a little higher up the field, occupying that striker position in between Bodertha and Green.
Plays resuming with the throw-in by St. FX, as they'll send it back. That's Bodertha to his partner in that center back position, Green. They've been very instrumental in controlling how they maneuver on this turf as they send it back to the keeper, Diltz. Diltz's kick only gets up, and another offside flag comes up as getting back into the action was Ville. And that's a very unrare offside, as it looks like it was still on their own side of half, but Ville coming back from the offensive side to get involved. Still being considered offside, even though he came back to his own half.
Yeah, the wind playing another role there with the ball, just kind of getting caught up in the air.
It's really difficult to understand how the wind counters this ball. It's more moving across the field as it is north-south, but it's really affecting how it moves the ball on this left side of the turf, as the St. FX wearing the white jerseys moving left to right in this second half, and it's the Cougars in the blue moving right to left. As the St. FX, Rick gets it down, McIntyre looking for the ball. Rick just stopped his run momentarily, and the ball rolls out in front of him, giving the ball back to the Cougars.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a similar dictation from Rick in that midfield area as he had in the first half. He was pulling strings, playing balls in through the middle of the field to Ville on the outside, but it's definitely going to be important for him to continue controlling the tempo for his X-Men.
Rick couldn't settle it down as it falls through. Daroka gets it up ahead as the Cougars trying to build something. Rogers sending it down, and the offside flag goes up as Hatcher was out there in front. Hatcher coming in on at this halftime. Him and Rogers both entering the game at the halftime changeover.
Yeah, Hatcher just making his run a little bit too early. Didn't give a good opportunity for his player to play him in behind. It's a good line from the X-Men, though.
Free kick being taken by St. FX with that 1-goal lead, as they'll Green electing to change it up and reset for the kick. Sending it long, looking for the head of Cadero. The ball just sails over him. Ville will settle it down. St. FX trying to get it to the outside, but Nazibu will step up to intercept that pass. He's forced to turn back. The Cougars trying to get across half. Swinging it outside. Flaxman looking for Hatcher on the long run down the left. Trying to get something going in the box area. Hatcher falls down on the turf. It's kicked, and it will just roll out for the throw-in for the Cougars.
That attack there made again by Flaxman, the number 7 for the Cougars. bit of burst of speed down the middle of the field and a good switch of play. They got a throw in out of it, though.
Hatcher to take the throw in. Looking for DeRoca. Back to Hatcher. Cougars mishandle the ball and it will go out of play off the foot of Rogers, giving it to the X-Men. Sun trying to peek out here on this Friday afternoon as the Consolation #1 underway between the St. FX X-Men and the Mount Royal Cougars. It's the X-Men on top by a score of 1-0. Later on, a 1:30 start for that Consolation semifinal #2 as the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks will host as DeRoca sends it on goal. Diltz making another great save as it's cleared out behind the touchline for a corner kick. And it will be the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks taking on the UNB Reds coming up next at 1:30.
Yeah, the player we mentioned at halftime, DeRoca, getting a good shot on goal. Nezebug has his cross blocked by Cameron Shaw, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars.
First corner kick of the half for the Cougars. They had 5 opportunities in the first. Nezabu looking for DeRoca. DeRoca trying to set something up here in that far corner. X-Men will clear it away. Kudelko, another one of those substitutions, watching it go out of bounds on the far side. Nezubu will come and take it right at midfield. Taken away by the X-Men. Down the right side. Hall gets it outside the Ville. Ville trying to cut back, sending it through, looking for a run of Cadero, but it goes on goal, and Benton getting the first touch for the Cougars since coming in at the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, good idea from Ville. Just didn't get the direction of his pass right, but he definitely had a good opportunity to put Kyle Cordero in on goal.
Okay. And DeRoca picking it up. Flaxman coming across as the X-Men take over. Play allowed to play on the advantage. Yes, there was a foul, but with the X-Men in control, play will be allowed to continue, and they'll turn it over. Out to the midfield stripe. DeRoca battling there. Pushed in Hall, and we're going to get a foul called against the Cougars. And for the first free kick, it's going to go towards St. FX in a glorious scoring opportunity.
Yeah, maybe a couple feet closer than the shot that we saw earlier in the game from the Cougars with Ethan Keane. We'll take a look at the replay here of the foul.
Here we see Ville getting knocked down by the defender Kemsley. Ville quickly back up to his feet as St. FX preparing for this free kick 28 yards out from the goal. Looks like Green trying to set it up. Him and that is Logan Rick. Both there at the ball. We'll have to wait and see exactly who it is that's going to take it as the Cougars set up. It's a 3-person wall at the moment.
Usually the person that puts the ball down takes it. It looks like Green's walking away. I think it's going to be Rick that hits this one.
We'll see. It's Rick making the first approach, sending it well high, and it sails well above the mark, and it will go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it just seemed to get under that one from Rick.
Benton quickly getting the ball back into play. Using that left foot, looking for Nezubu. As the Cougars will try and settle the things down here. 53 minutes into the game. Benton looking to swing it to the far side. Rogozinski, who's out here on the left side now. The captain of this Cougar squad goes out for a throw-in for the Cougars. Rogozinski down, well cleared out by Green. That looked like it was destined for the parking lot, but the wind held it up.
As we were mentioning, a new goalkeeper has been put into the game for the Cougars, Bryce Benton. He is a rookie, and this is his first start of the year. It's a great stage to do it on, but I'm sure he's a little bit nervous and excited to get his first opportunity to get in a matchup for the Cougars.
Cougars knock it out of playing. A lot of times when you're looking to build your future, you can't just build it. It's basically a 5-year cycle for university sports. Players come in, they have 5 years of eligibility. And you got to keep that cycle going. You've got to get your first-year freshman players getting involved with those seniors, fifth-year players, and making sure they're ready to take over, especially a key role such as a keeper here on a squad that wants to get back to nationals year in and year out. Delivered there, Shaw, the goal scorer, has been trying giving it his all to keep that in play. Unfortunately, he slides with the ball behind the touch, and it's going to go out for the first corner of the game for the X-Men.
Yeah, I think in general as a first-year player, it's nerve-wracking to get your first appearance in the OUA. Having played in the OUA for 5 years, you never forget your first appearance. And for it to be in a national championship, I'm sure he's extremely excited.
Well, we got to see even before how loose Benton was. We seen him doing some flips and that. We had him caught on camera. He was showing off, trying to get the crowd, the youngsters that are here from the elementary schools in the surrounding areas, as it's delivered this in curl, and Benton going up to grab that and that. Getting those touches early on, especially in your first OUA season, really important to calm those nerves down. I know helping out in Nipissing, I've talked to a lot of senior players and fifth-year players, and they'll tell me that even 5 years into your OUA career, you still have those butterflies in your stomach when it's time to get the game started.
Yeah, as a natural athlete, as all these guys are, they're natural competitors, and they want to win all the time. So if you're not a little bit nervous, you're not caring as much as everyone else. So the butterflies are always a good thing.
And we see a play on the far side. St. FX will come away on with the ball. DeDecker getting it up to Cadero. Cadero trying to get it back to DeDecker. He ties up feet with Nazubu, and it will be a foul called against the Cougars. And again, the St. FX will get a free kick from a glorious opportunity, this time coming up from 21 yards out.
Yeah, it's a good position here. It might be Rick on the ball again. I'm not sure if he's going to hit this or not. It's a little bit outside the 18-yard box, but we'll see what he does in a second here.
And it's a different angle. The angle we know is going to be towards the outside, the far post. The wind's going to help hold it up a little bit coming out of the opposite direction. So we'll see if Rick can use that to his advantage and decides to try and put this on goal.
Yeah, it's a good position to also just kind of drive in a low one. Which Badurtha or Luke Green, one of the bigger guys on the St. FX team, could potentially get a flick on and beat Benson in that.
It's a low, looking for that flick. It's there, and coming in off the back of was Van Wychen, and it's the St. FX X-Men going up by a score of 2-0 here, 57 minutes into the contest.
Yeah, similar to kind of what I was mentioning, just a low-driven ball into the box. As we'll see here, Rick looked like he just beat the wall. It just kind of skirts through everyone. None of the Cougars were able to clear, and Van Wychen at the back post has an easy job and pokes it into the net.
And we talk about a hard-driven ball. That wasn't the hardest ball as we take another look at it. It kind of was just a floater rolling there, a knuckleball going across the turf, and nobody really got a touch on it, and the recipient of that was Van Wychen at the back post. Nothing but daylight between him and the goal as he makes it 2-0 here. The Cougars not happy, looking directly at the air, wanting that offside call.
The Cougars will be disappointed that they weren't able to clear that. They had multiple opportunities to get that away, and I'm sure they're disappointed that ended up getting to the back post.
And now they find themselves down 2 here as we approach the 60-minute mark. And we're going to get another foul called against the Cougars and a free kick just coming on the offensive side of half for St. FX. As DeRoca getting spoken to again. This is the second time that he's had words with the official after picking up a foul. Green will take it this time. St. FX will just play for position. Fergus Hall. Back to Luke Green, all the way back to the keeper, Diltz. Bodertha trying to go through the middle, will swing it out to DeDecker on the far side. A very confident back four for this X-Men. DeDecker coming up to get involved on the run. That ball just going in front of him, and it's taken away by Nazibu. For the Cougars, they'll set it up and try and calm things down. Keane, DeRoca. That pass just behind as Rosinski will have to go back to pick it up. Rogers down the left side, trying to find a run there by Flaxman. He's in behind, and Flaxman will beat the diving Dilts. Cougars score, and they go down by one here an hour into this contest.
Skylar Rogers with an absolutely perfectly placed ball right on the foot of his teammate Flaxman. All he had to do was take a nice touch. Beats Dilts on the near side. We'll see this again. Rogers with the left-footed pass over the top. It doesn't get much better than that. Makes it easy for Flaxman to take one touch and beat the goalkeeper Dilts.
Flaxman only having one goal in the regular season. Unbelievable job to grab and control that over-the-top ball. Just controlling it once and making the second touch, tucking it perfectly in the right side of the net. And the Cougars close to within one here. An hour gone into the contest. St. FX trying to get the momentum back on their side. Keane trying to settle it down. Our player to watch today for the Cougars. Another sent through ball, and a great job by Bodertha to shield it and take that away from DeRoca.
Even in the last couple minutes after that goal, you can see the momentum starting to change. The Cougars have a bit of life in this game.
St. FX trying to slow things down. Green, McIntyre, nice little fake there to keep control and open up some space for himself. Cordero swings it out to Logan Rick. Rick did have that lone goal yesterday. He's got some space, trying to get it back to the middle. He'll take a shot from distance, and that will just go above the goal with the left foot.
The two top teams in Canada football descend on Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario on Saturday, November 23rd for the 2024 Vanier Cup Championship game. Tickets are selling fast, so scan the QR code on your screen or visit usportstickets.ca to guarantee your seat for the biggest university football game of the year. The 2024 Vanier Cup, November 23rd in Kingston. Chase the glory.
Ball goes out for another goal kick as the Mount Royal looking to make their first substitution here in this second half. Benton looking at his options up the field, sending it to Flaxman on the left foot. And St. FX trying to calm it down. And it will go out for touch, and it's going to be a St. FX throw-in.
Flaxman already getting one goal today. Someone we noted at halftime that we thought needed to get a little bit more of the ball in this second half, and he's done so. He's going to be a big part in trying to mount this comeback for the Mount Royal Cougars.
Looks like it's Felix Liebeck getting ready to come in for the Cougars. As the Cougars trying to level things up here. The pass just behind DeRoca. Battling for it is Beck Adel. DeRoca in the box, looking to swing it behind, looking for a Flaxman, and it's cleared away. Big ball, as you can really see that curl and stay in bounds for St. FX. Ville battling. He's getting pushed there by Rosinski. Rosinski takes over. Rogers. Flaxman on the far side. Through to DeRoca. Building as they enter the box. Left foot off of the defender, and out it goes. Nazubu was trying to send that towards goal as the Cougars looking to press for the equalizer. Rosinski. Out it goes to Hatcher. The foul will be called, and that's going to draw the yellow card out of the pocket.
Yeah, this game has changed entirely after that Mount Royal Cougars goal. A couple of big challenges from the St. FX X-Men on Rogozinski. It's going to be a free kick for them, but the tempo has changed, and the Cougars have some momentum.
And it's McIntyre getting the card for the St. FX X-Men. That's going to be the third card shown to St. FX in this contest as Keane getting set to take the free kick. Official marking off the 10 yards, restraining zone. Keane with that left foot. We'll see if he can counter what St. FX did on the other side. Keane with the approach. Wynn's going to help that. Low driving ball, looking for the head of DeRoca. Cleared away. Trying to get it back in was the Cougars' Beckadal, and it goes into the hands of Diltz.
Yeah, decent cross in from Keene. DeRoca had a chance to get a flick on that, just missed it.
Diltz will roll it out to McIntyre. St. FX trying to find some way to get possession and deflate the momentum that's been gathering by the Cougars. Cordero. Left foot of Rick flicking it to the far side as the X-Men making a run into the box. Trying to find a lane. It's sent to the far post. Sails just wide of the target. Goal kick coming up for Mount Royal.
One of the goal scorers for St. FX, Cameron Shaw, with that shot. Just sails over the bar. He's already got one today. He would have liked to trouble Benton in net there, but it just sails over the crossbar.
Mount Royal playing small ball, trying to keep possession. Benton with it. Looking to go up to the middle to Rogers. He'll flick it through on that one touch. Hall will play it. Ville will get up there first to get the touch. Trying to get a lane. And Shaw centering it. Cordero has it on the foot, and it will go out of touch as we have two players down, one from each side. Ville being the player for St. FX on the turf. And I don't have an exact number on the player down for Mount Royal.
I think it's Rogozinski down on the far side. It was a great ball in by Shaw. Cordero was at that near post trying to get just a touch on it, but Rogozinski with a great defensive play.
It is Rogozinski that is down just to the left of the net as he'll get some water from his teammate. Here we take a look. As we take a look at those collisions, there's the first one. Ville going down as he collides with Kemsley, and then the follow-up as that was Van Weichen looking for target, and it goes out, and we're going to get a corner kick set up for St. FX as they're going to make a substitution, as it looks like it is Samuel Barrowcliff getting ready to come in for St. FX.
Thought it was a good game from Ville today. It was explosive down the right-hand side. Just took a little knock there, and he's going to come out for Barrowcliff.
Barrowcliff does replace Ville. Ville getting a good reception from his teammates as he comes onto the bench as St. FX getting ready for the corner kick on the far side.
It's going to be an in-swinger from Cameron Shaw, it looks like, on that far side.
Wynn's going to keep it to the shorter side of the goal. It's going to take a lot of effort if he wants to go for the back post. As Benton preparing right dead center of the goal. Shaw swinging it in. Looking for that back post. It's headed away first by Flaxman. Great effort there by the captain Cordero, missing it as it's picked up by Benton. DeRoca picking it up. He's got Rogozinski with him. They'll just play it back to Benton. Things were starting to get cluttered up there in the middle of the field. And Mount Royal not happy with that, just trying to spread things out as they reset. Kemsley, Rogozinski, back to Kemsley. Rogozinski has been moved out to this left side, away from that normal center back position. Rogers with it. The St. FX just pushing it back. Kemsley slowing things down. Ball possession, very important here to keep it on the turf and out of the air. Dalroca going through the middle, loses it as Rick will clear it down. Back inside the box, it goes all the way back to the keeper, Benton. Rick battling for it. He gets knocked down by Beckadal. As St. FX pushing, Cordero, and an offside flag goes up.
Cordero just made his run slightly too early, drifting into an offside position. The Cougars did a good job of keeping a high line and catching him offside in that situation. But a good ball from Rick to get his teammate in behind.
St. FX getting ready to make another substitution as play gets back underway. Benton will get it. Kemsley Started to push, looking for Flaxman again, making another one. Nice little flick. Hatcher got some space, can't control it on the first touch, and it's cleared away by the X-Men out to half.
Hatcher just wasn't able to get that ball into his path. One first touch in front of him, and he made it being in on goal.
Couple aerial balls. Who can control it as it's knocked down? Benton well out of his net to clear it away, and it will go out. And it will actually be kept in by Rogers. Great job there as the wind holding that one up, helping out Mount Royal, keeping it in play. Bouncing ball at half. Cordero trying to get some space, going for a run with Shaw. Didn't really see it. Cordero running into a trio of blue jerseys, settling it down. Rick flicking it through. Nice little scorpion kick attempt there by Cordero, missing that. And actually the offside flag was up prior to that attempt.
Good creativity from Kyle Cordero to try to get that in on goal. Just a little bit behind him from the cross by Rick, but it goes out for a goal kick for the Cougars.
The second goal scorer for St. FX, Isaac Van Wychen, will be substituted out here at the 70th minute mark. As coming in for his place, Nico Goldstein coming in for the X-Men, and Daroka being substituted out for Felix Liebeck coming in for Mount Royal. So a little bit of substitutions up front to see if the Cougars can get a little added offensive punch out of Felix Liebeck.
Being down 2-1 as the Cougars are, I'm surprised to see Daroka go out of this game. Might not be the last we see of him, but at the moment he's off the field.
We've seen it very similar to the contest yesterday where the Cougars were down 1-0 late, and it was Daroka got substituted in that game also as Rick trying to get free. Lost it to the Cougars. Liebeck getting his first touch, going out down the near side, and it goes out of play for a Cougars throw-in.
The road to the Vanier Cup continues this Saturday when the Western Mustangs head up the 401 to Wilfrid Laurier University to face the Golden Hawks for Ontario University Athletics football supremacy. Catch the 116th BioSteel Yates Cup Championship Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, and OUA.tv.
Benton will go out of the box to bring it back in. Playing to the Kemsley as the Cougars trying to flip the side of the field and working on the near side. Back to Benton. Cougars just not really pushing here at the moment. Trying to find an opening as Benton sending it down to Flaxman. He leaves it there. Liebeck trying to get a go at it. Liebeck leaves it off for Beckedahl. Keene trying to run that down. Leaves it for Hatcher. Back to Rogastini. Keene. Hatcher. Beckedahl trying to get it through, and it's cleared away by Green for St. FX. Shaw trying to settle it down on the far side, but he runs into Flaxman. Flaxman and Shaw having a good battle there on the far side, and will go out for the X-Men throw-in.
Flaxman upset with that, looking for a foul in that situation. Interesting to see Rogozinski that high up the field as a typical center back, but as we approach the 73rd minute, the Cougars are going to have to start opening up to try to tie this game up.
Cougars finding themselves in a similar pattern to what they were as they were down 1-0 at this time yesterday to the Montreal Carabin, as the Carabin did hold on for that 1-0 lead. And here it's the St. FX X-Men leading the Mount Royal Cougars by a score of 2-1, 73 minutes into this Consolation semifinal number 1. Coming up at 1:30, we'll have the Consolation semifinal number 2 as the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks will host the UNB Reds to determine the second finalist of the Consolation. That game will be shown Saturday afternoon. That's a 5 o'clock start time scheduled here from Vassal's Field in Oshawa.
I'm expecting another good matchup this afternoon between UNB and Ontario Tech, as we're having today with the St. FX X-Men and the Cougars.
A little bit of push from behind by Beckedahl, sending Shaw to the deck, and it will be a free kick coming up for St. FX. And that
Cameron Shaw, the one down in this situation.
Just gets the ball on his foot, not expecting the challenge from behind by Beckedahl. As Shaw goes down, looking like maybe cramping up a little bit, but he's back up, and it will be a free kick for St. FX, and they'll just stay in control of the ball, trying to take some time off the clock but the Cougars will force the turnover.
Give credit to the Cougars in this second half. I think the X-Men really dominated that first half, but they've been better here in the second period.
Referee playing the advantage as Bodertho goes down to the turf. As Shaw, Rick looking to go from distance off the leg of Kemsley. Great job there by Kemsley to stay in the shooting lane.
Yeah, good block from Kemsley. Rick's definitely the danger man at the top of that box for the X-Men, and the center back did well to close his space.
X-Men playing it all the way back to their keeper, Diltz, who elects to go along. Will send it over everyone there, and the only one waiting for it is Benton, and he's back inside his own 18-yard box. Cougars trying to find a way to get the equalizer. Electing to send it now, Kemsley. Keane, who was our player to watch today for the Cougars.
A composed figure in the middle of that field for the Cougars. Definitely someone that we wanted to keep an eye out, and he's had another good match today.
He has had an excellent game. The fourth-year business student out of Calgary, Alberta, has been actively involved. That left foot, always tough to find a good left foot kicker, as they are hard to come by. As the ball is sent down the line, where it went out, I know it came back in the play, but it must have crossed the touchline somewhere along the line. Shaw to take the throw in. Fergus Hall. Barrowcliff, haven't seen much of him since coming on here in this second half. Battling for it, taken away by Hatcher as the Cougars, with just under 15 minutes to go here in the second half, trailing by a score 2-1. Nzubu battling for it. He'll flick it all the way back to the keeper, Benton.
These next couple minutes, the Cougars are definitely going to have to start committing a few more bodies forward with another foul on, it looks like Shaw again. I think Flaxman may have taken him down.
Shaw going down again as he's still down on the turf. Flaxman having some words with the official. No card at the moment, as the official just trying to give Flaxman a fair warning.
Shaw taking a couple big knocks these last couple minutes. Definitely feeling worse for wear, as we'll see the replay of the collision between Flaxman and Shaw. Flaxman, with just an unfortunate first touch, gets away from him a little bit. Shaw does well to intercept, but Flaxman ends up pulling him down.
Looking ahead to further on in the afternoon, the championship semifinals can be seen here on CBC as the York Lions take on the Montreal Carabin. That game scheduled for a 4 o'clock kickoff, and then at 7 o'clock later tonight, the UBC Thunderbirds will host the McGill Redbirds. That will determine the two championship finals. Those games will be shown Sunday afternoon, both the bronze medal and the gold medal game to come up on Sunday.
Two very exciting matchups, four very good teams still left in the national tournament, so I'm expecting very good matchups later up in this afternoon.
Another fun-filled games here at Vassals Field in Oshawa, Ontario. This is only game 1 of 4. This is Consolation semifinal number 1, and it's the St. FX X-Men leading the Mount Royal Cougars by a score of 2-1, 78th minute of this contest. And then coming up at 1:30, we'll have the second Consolation semifinal between the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks and the UNB Reds. Kemsley. Rogozinski with it. He's going to take his space as he makes a run down the left side. He's going to send it to Hatcher. Unfortunately, that was behind him, causing him to slow down just a little bit. Hatcher swinging it in. Keane using that left foot to flick it, trying to get it inside the box, but it's headed away by Bodertha. Rick trying to settle it down, and he'll just turn it over to the Cougars.
I thought the Cougars have done a much better job in the second half of winning those second balls in the middle. Combination of Rogers and Flaxman have done a good job of getting the ball back for their squad.
Liebeck loses it as he will give possession away, trying to win it back. Flaxman, Rogers, Nazeebu, as everyone getting involved here in the offense. Kemsley now coming up. Throws it out to Hatcher. He'll try and swing it into the box. To the dot it goes, and it's headed away by Bodertha. Rogers with a long-distance kick, hitting off of Bodertha, and the X-Men will clear it away from danger.
Couple crosses coming into the box these last couple minutes. Max Bedertha, the number 16 in white for the St. FX X-Men, has done a great job of clearing most of these away.
Cougars will get a throw in on the far side. Nazubu will get it in to Rogers as he gives it right back, who in turn returns it to Rogers. Kemsley looking for up the far side. It's out of touch. Throw-in coming up for St. FX.
Approaching the 80th minute, the Cougars are definitely want to get more of the ball. The St. FX X-Men probably content with this 2-1 lead. Going to waste a little bit of time off the clock in these final 10 minutes.
And the X-Men going to get another substitution to come into this contest is warming up. Zastefny getting ready to come in as he's warming up just underneath of us. Cougars trying to get it out. Keane battling through a crowd. Looking to flick it up to midfield. Looking for the head of Hatcher, too far ahead of him, and it goes out of touch. Throw-in coming up for St. FX, and we'll be able to complete that substitution as Zastefny will come in for the X-Men as he will take the spot of Fergus Hall. Great job by Fergus Hall working this left or right side of the field. Or it's Hall that's going to take the throw-in, sorry. I thought he was leaving. And it's Cameron Shaw who opened up the scoring and will be the player to exit for St. FX.
Good game from Cameron Shaw today. Scored that first goal for the X-Men with a back heel in the first half. He's going to go off happy with his performance today.
And St. FX just trying to get a couple extra fresh legs in there to protect this 1-goal lead. Both scorers out of the game now for St. FX. Shaw had the second goal. And Van Weichen with the second. Shaw opened up the scoring. That's Fergus Hall all the way back. Luke Green delivering the long ball. Curling to the far side. Nazubu will have to head that. And he can't control it as it goes behind the end line for a corner kick.
You saw the idea from Nazubu trying to head that back to his goalkeeper. Just didn't get the direction right and unfortunately heads it out for a corner kick.
Third corner kick of the half. All of them coming from that far corner as Logan Rick will go across to take it. Rick with that in curve will naturally curl towards the goal area. Driving it a little lower this time as it's headed away by Kemsley. Looking to put it back into the box. McIntyre trying to swing it outside, but it hits Zastefny, who has just come on in relief of Shaw. McIntyre will take the throw in. No, he won't. He'll leave it there for DeDecker. Trying to get it to the feet of the captain, Cordero. DeDecker now working that line on the far side. Cordero. DeDecker trying to swing it. It's cleared away by the Cougars. And can they get a counterattack going as it's brought through the middle of the field by Liebeck. Looking to the outside. Flaxman, who's crossed over to the near side. Flaxman taking his space. Trying to get his way into the box. Great job there to be taken away by Rick. Rick with an excellent defensive challenge there to win the ball. Keane as the Cougars push here in the 83rd minute for the equalizer. Slowing things down to Decker. Playing it on the turf. But it's intercepted, and the Cougars looking to make an attack. Great sliding tackle there by DeDecker to win that ball for the X-Men. Cordero putting it through, looking for the run. Zastefny trying to go, didn't have the legs to challenge Nazebu. And the Cougars will take over deep inside their own territory. Nazebu will run onto it on the far side. Stops. Sends it back to Kemsley. Kemsley out to the captain, Rogozinski, back to Kemsley. Clears it up to midfield. Liebeck swinging it, goes through the middle, didn't get much on it as the Decker waiting it for the X-Men. McIntyre, he goes down and will get awarded with the free kick.
The road to the Vanier Cup continues on Saturday, November 16th, when the Atlantic University Sports Champions square off against the Ontario University Athletics Yates Cups champions in the 2024 UTech Bowl. Catch all the action exclusively on CBC Gem, beginning at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The road to the Vanier Cup and U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
Barrowcliff with it on the near side. Waiting for Rick to join him, but a good read by Keane to get back to knock that out a touch for the throw-in.
St. FX will be content with where the ball is at the moment. It's been in the Cougars' end for a while now, and more time ticks off the clock.
And the clock really working against the Cougars now. 5.5 to go on the clock, plus added time, as the ball just being cleared away from the Cougars' penalty area. Cordero working against Kemsley. Hatcher there battling for it. Nazeebu trying to settle it down for the Cougars. Trying to get around the corner. Forced to go the other way out towards touch. Doesn't like what he saw, so he'll send it back to Kadelka. Kemsley does not get his pass to the outside as it was intercepted by Goldstein. Barrowcliff down the middle. Nice little give and go. Rick getting by the defender. Rick, great save there by Benton. Really the best opportunity by St. FX here since their second goal.
You expect the leading goal scorer of the X-Men to put that one away. A one-on-one with Benton, the first year, who made a great save. It's a good ball by Barrowcliff into Rick. Rick beats his player one-on-one just anywhere other than down the middle, and that probably goes in, but good save from Benton.
Exactly that. It looked like Benton was leaning to go to his right, and Rick just sending it down the middle, and Benton just staying long enough to get that left hand on there, and the St. FX just taking the ball into the corner. McIntyre trying to take some time off. He does get down the end line, trying to cross it. Still a loose ball. Who's going to find it? Cordero finds it, sends it, and it'll be knocked out for another corner kick. Or they're going to say Benton never touched it.
I think the ref's calling offside, actually. I think Cordero was potentially in an offside position when he swiveled and had that shot.
It is offside, as Benton looking over to the AR as we take a look at the bouncing ball just in front of the goal area, as the Cougars will make another substitution, as Skylar Rogers will come out of the game in favor of David Dudek.
Another strong performance today from Skylar Rogers. Assisted the one goal by Joshua Flaxman today. I think he had a great performance.
Yes, Rogers was the player of the game yesterday for the Mount Royal Cougars, picking up the prize pack here that's delivered or rewarded. Flaxman trying to get in, leaving it there. Dudnik with the opportunity. You can just see he caught the left side of the ball as it curls out, and the referee will say it was touched by a white jersey, and it's going to give the Cougars a corner.
Flaxman gets the ball in the 18-yard box, cutting it back to Dudek with his first touch of the game. That would have been incredible if he put that one away, but it's going to end up being a corner kick.
Incredible first touch, as it looked like in that replay you could see it just glance off of Bodertha. Keane, left foot, trying to curl it in. Going up for it was Kemsley, but it's headed away by Bodertha. Keane trying to get it back into the box, trying to get around the St. FX player, and he can't do it legally, so he'll haul him down, giving the free kick to the X-Men.
Better pressure from the Cougars. Definitely going to need to challenge the X-Men back line as this game comes to an end.
You can see that tug of the jersey on the left hand there of Keane, making it an easy call for the official.
About to cross over to the 88th minute here, just 2 minutes before we'll see how much added time is given by the fourth official.
Dilth to take the kick. Dilt's delivering it down the left side, looking for the run. That was Zastepny going for the run down the left side, as he'll get to take the throw in. He'll take some time off the clock, trying to control it on the far side. McIntyre and Zastepny working it, and it will be out for a St. FX throw-in.
Smart play from McIntyre just to knock that off the Cougars defender. Waste a little bit of extra time here.
St. FX trying to get control, but the Cougars looking to get it onto the turf. A great run there by St. FX's Fergus Hall, intercepting that pass to keep it deep. Flaxman now trying to get by Hall. Hall standing his ground, and he'll knock it out for another Mount Royal throw.
2 great tackles from Fergus Hall, winning the first one, the offensive end, and then knocks this one out to touch, but it's good defending from the number 14 on the X-Men.
Benton, as we're in the final minute on the clock, played up just over the head of Duddick. Bouncing ball. Cleared well down the field by Green, as we know. St. FX just happy to keep it away from their goal. It'll become a Mount Royal throw-in.
Anything in the Cougars' end will do. Mount Royal needs to get that ball as quickly up the field as possible now. I don't know how much at a time we'll see in a second here, but there can't be much. I don't think there's many stoppages in the second half.
I don't recall many at all, as it looks like the fourth official ready to get that board showing for how much time minimal will be added as the cross comes in looking for Barrowcliff. He can't control it with the header, and it will go out for a goal kick.
Surprised to see the X-Men cross that one in. They had possession on that left-hand side. I assumed they were going to go to the corner flag in that situation.
Was looking as the board is showing. We'll have to wait for him to turn around. 4 on the clock, so a minimum of 4 minutes will be added on to the end of this Consolation semifinal number 1. Currently, it's St. FX leading the Mount Royal Cougars by a score of 2-1.
It's a decent amount of time. Lots of time for the Cougars to try to get another opportunity on goal.
Reminder, this is only 1 of 4 games for this Friday here from Vassos Field. Coming up next, a 1:30 matchup for Consolation semifinal number 2. As it is the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks hosting the UNB Reds. And the winner of that game will face the winner of this game. That game scheduled, the Consolation final will be shown Saturday afternoon, a 5 o'clock start on CBC, as we have a St. FX player down on the turf getting some attention as the trainer will come out. Just looks like a cramping up of the hamstring.
Looking around, I'm trying to figure out who it is. I don't see. I think it's Noah McIntyre down on the field. He's played the full 90 minutes today, and he's been all over the field, breaking up play for the St. FX X-Men. So
yeah, that number 21 jersey I don't see out there at the moment, as it just looks like some cramping. But we do have a substitution ready as McIntyre is back up to his feet. As the X-Men, it looks like Ethan Larson getting ready to come in.
Yeah, not surprised to see a little bit of cramp from Noah McIntyre. He's definitely put the kilometers in today, being all over the field for his team.
And it is a smart move, as it will be Larson taking the spot of McIntyre, holding on to that 20 or that 1-goal lead. You don't want to have a tired body or even injured at that point. We don't know the severity, but McIntyre walking pretty effortless there over on the far side. Looks none less the wear. As Diltz will pick it up on the restart. He'll be allowed to deliver the high kick. We'll see what he has in store, as he's going to try and get it as far as he can. Just onto the Cougar side of half. Great battle there. He's coming away with it. For Mount Royal is Beckedal. He's been very instrumental since coming on in the second half of this contest. Nizubu coming in to help out. He'll take it down the left side. Cougars pushing for the equalizer. Nizubu will get it back. He slides, getting it to the middle. Opportunity here. Left foot of Liebeck, sending it towards goal. Flaxman, he has the only goal. Trying to go through a pair of defenders. It is cleared out for the corner kick, and the bench of the Cougars calling for everyone to get involved, as Benton trying to bring the fans to life here in the final minutes of this Consolation semifinal number 1.
A little bit of messy play from both sides, but it ends up going out for a corner kick. Nezebu going to cross this one in.
Swinging it, looking towards that back post, looking for the head of the keeper, Benton, and as it's cleared away, Cougars thinking there was a foul there, as it goes out for a Cougars throw-in.
I did see a bit of a shirt tug in the box, but something the referee didn't decide warranted a foul.
The ball still on the turf. Benton not realizing it was behind him until he gets a warning from the fans here that are on the far side. Benton been playing to them all game long. He only coming in since the second half as Barrowcliff barreling down, and a great right foot there by Benton to keep that out. Cadero trying to drive it to the corner. He's just happy to take time off, the captain of this X-Men squad. Great job to win that challenge. Backdoor shot fired off the foot of Rick, and Benton forced to make another save here in the added time. Cougars trying to find a way to get the equalizer. Ball rolling towards first one they get back there is DeDecker. He's played all 90-plus minutes of this contest. He gets pulled down, trying to get away from Kemsley, and it's going to be a free kick awarded for St. FX.
Yeah, DeDecker gets a round of applause from his number 7, Logan Rick. He does well to keep that ball into play and just waste a bit more time off the clock. But here's the shot on goal we saw from Barrowcliff. Good, strong right foot from Benton just to keep his team in this game, give his team another chance to potentially get a shot on goal and tie this one up.
Benton having to make a 50-yard run from midfield to get back as him and Barrowcliff really racing to the goal line to make that save as Dilt's getting ready to take this free kick coming up. And he's going to send it as far as he can, knowing there's not much time left in this contest.
Yeah, knowing there was 4 minutes of added time, a little injury earlier, but I don't think there can be much left in this game.
The ball goes down the field to the left side. It will go out for a Cougars throw-in, and it looks like we still got a few more seconds at least. The whistle is in the mouth of the official, and there is the final whistle as it is the St. FX X-Men holding off the Cougars for a 2-1 Consolation semifinal victory as St. FX will advance to the Consolation final coming up Saturday afternoon, 5 o'clock the start.
I think it was a warranted result for the X-Men. I think they dominated the first half. I think the second half was a little more evenly matched between the two sides with both teams grabbing a goal, but I think the Cougars had a valiant effort, but in the end, the X-Men were just a bit too much for the Canada West side.
And that's exactly it. St. FX did get that goal in the first half as it was Cameron Shaw on a beautiful feed from Fergus Hall, settling it down with one touch before tucking it in with that back heel. What a great creativity there by Cameron Shaw to take a 1-0 lead after 45. And then it was Isaac Van Wychen with a goal on a set piece. It was Logan Rick that delivered the set piece. The ball got through a crowd, a lot of opportunity for either team to get onto it, but it was Van Wychen, the recipient, as it gets tucked in for that 2-0 lead before eventually the Cougars were able to break the clean sheet as Flaxman got the lone goal for the Cougars. As we take a look, dead even were shots on goal, 9 apiece for both teams, but the difference being that Shaw and Van Wychen were able to connect for the X-Men, and only Flaxman getting the lone goal this afternoon for Mount Royal.
Yeah, it's disappointing for the Cougars to end their season off here at Nationals with a loss in the Consolation semifinal, but kudos to the St. FX X-Men. They had a great performance today. I'd like to single out Max Bedertha specifically on the back line. I think he had a great game defensively and just an overall great performance from him and his team, and they're going to be moving on to the final against one of our next game, the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks and the UNB Reds.
And Mount Royal, you got to be happy with what you have as we take a look at the goal highlights. Here's the first one. Shaw, there's that beautiful right back heel to find it, catching the goaltender Strauss, unexpecting that back heel. And here's the set piece. This is Rick delivering the low. Not the hardest of shots, just going through that crowd. Van Wychen, nothing but daylight separating him and the goal as he makes it 2-0. And then Rogers with a beautiful deliver over the top of that right as Flaxman calms it down. Second touch, tucks it in, cutting the lead to 1 at the time. And unfortunately, the Cougars can't mount anything else as the X-Men get out of here with that 2-1 victory.
Yeah, great performance from both sides. The Cougars had a wonderful season, coming second place in the Canada West tournament, losing out to UBC. And a valiant effort here at Nationals, losing to two very good teams. The Carabin yesterday were obviously, as we know, a very strong team at Nationals, and St. FX as well.
And exactly that. you face in the opening quarterfinal the number 2 seed, the Caravan. They've been atop of the U Sports rankings throughout the year. That's your opening matchup. And then you have to face the number 3 seed in the St. FX X-Men. Doesn't get any harder than that, than what the Cougars had to go through. As we get a chance to take one last look, there's Benton, the goaltender that came on for the Cougars in the second half, as we take a look at our final stats. Shots on goal, pretty equal across the board. One more for the Cougars, out shooting 18 to 11 for the X-Men. Sorry about that mistake. Dead even on target at 9 apiece. Fouls doubling up. The Cougars doubling up the fouls, 12-6 over the X-Men. And then corners, all the X-Men's 4 corners coming in the second half. 8 across the game for the Cougars, as a very entertaining quarter consolation semifinal number 1 here to kick off the Friday of the U Sports Men's Nationals here from Oshawa, Ontario, as the Cougars leave the field with a little bit of heart left out there.
You can see Rogozinski there on camera, a little bit disappointed of the result. A main contributor of this team the last few seasons, a multiple-time OUA or All-Canadian, and he was very important today on that left-hand side of the back line. So I'm sure he's got lots more soccer in his future, and as much as he's disappointed right now, I see a very bright future for this Cougar side, as they were, like I said, the number 1 seed last year. They had a very strong tournament this year, and I expect them to be at future national championships.
And one of a number of Calgary natives who actually have the opportunity to play soccer for your home university, as such as Rogozinski got to do for the Mount Royal Cougars, as we're just awaiting the player of the game presentations, as the St. FX X-Men defeat the Mount Royal Cougars by a score of 2-1 here in this consolation semifinal. St. FX awaiting the winner of this next matchup between the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks and the UNB Reds, coming up. A 1:30 start predicted for that game.
Being the AUS champions in St. FX, I think they're naturally going to end up being the favorites in that consolation final, no matter who they play, UNB or Ontario Tech. The Ontario Tech Ridgebacks being the OUA champions. But I think St. FX has had a very strong season, and no matter who they play, it's going to be a very exciting match tomorrow for our consolation final.
Exactly, and we still got player of the games to come up for this contest, as we're awaiting down at field level of hold those 2 players. We still take a look at St. FX. They're celebrating with some of their family and friends that made the trip all the way from Antigonish, Nova Scotia, to watch this U Sports Men's National here in Oshawa.
While we're waiting, I think let's also just shout out the first-year player, the goalkeeper from the Mount Royal Cougars. Congratulations to him, Benton, for making his first appearance at such a great stage at Nationals, and it's great to see a first-year player getting an opportunity to play at Nationals, as we've mentioned.
Exactly, a great first opportunity for Bryce Benton to play here at the U Sports Nationals, as the St. FX X-Men advance to till Saturday's consolation championship final against either the UNB Reds or the Ontario Ridgebacks, and we'll have that game for you Saturday at 5 p.m. Our next game comes your way at 1:30 as the Ontario Tech Ridgebacks face the UNB Reds. On behalf of Jacob Bagley, I'm Derek Lindeman, and producer Casey Dobson down in the truck. We thank you for watching us here in Oshawa. Thanks again for joining us. The final here, it's the St. FX X-Men defeating the Mount Royal Cougars by a score of 1-0. You've been watching U Sports on CBC, where championships are made.